morning, good evening, everyone. This is Luda Kopikina with GAI Insights. Welcome to Daily AI News. Today, I have a couple of usual suspects, Ankash, Paul, and myself, and Nina Arugio, who is now our regular contributor. Welcome, Nina.
Thank you.
All right, let's start. So articles that we are going to review and rate them essential, important, or optional at gaiinsights.com/articles. Please follow along and let us know what you think in the comments. We would love your input. Okay, let's proceed with the first article, Ankash.
Sure, Luda. So the first one that we have for today comes from Google, and this is a really exciting one. They have introduced Nano Banana Pro.
Yeah, the world really loved Nano Banana. Now we have Nano Banana Pro. What do you think about this one, Nina?
I think so. I will start by saying I was wavering between optional and important, but I will make a case here for important. So in a nutshell, 2 months ago, Nano Banana came out, just regular, lots of glitches. And for example, the typography wasn't really very clear. But right now with the Nano Banana Pro, they fixed a lot of those things and improved the model to go up to a 4K kind of resolution, different aspect ratios, all in one go. And they actually now support up to like 14 images. And I actually tested this. I got a bunch of just loose furniture items, low-hanging fruit from IKEA. Okay, just design 5 different living rooms for me. And they did it in a snap. And so I don't know what this looks like for marketing. Although I do know, I think things will be moving in a direction that's less costly and faster. And but I did rate it as important. There's also just a concern alone about the fake images and all of that. Just security in general. The tagging is there, but it's not really all that robust if all the other models are not sort of like collaborating, in this space. So I think this is a conversation to be continued.
Okay. Important from Nina, not essential. What did you think, Ankash?
I was super essential on this one, Luda, super excited with this release. Let me show something that I created with Nano Banana. So I was researching our articles last night. I got our articles and then I asked it to create an infographic. So here is the infographic that it created. So I think it has improved in multiple ways, Luda. So you can't see a single grammatical mistake here. Till the last release, there were multiple mistakes everywhere. Even ChatGPT image generation, it makes mistakes. The Nano Banana was doing as well. But this one, no mistakes whatsoever. It follows your instructions to the T. I used to struggle with the previous Nano Banana in asking it to create an image which is of 16:9 aspect ratio for our slides. It never used to create that. In this one, you ask it one time, it's there. Other thing that's important, Luda, is that now this Nano Banana Pro is integrated into different products as well. So I was using Notebook LM to create slides and infographics. And this is a slide deck that Notebook LM created using Nano Banana Pro. This is a 14 slider deck, and you can see what it has achieved. This is based on the articles that we are discussing today. So I would say this is by far the best announcement in the last few days that we have seen.
Yeah, and one of our listeners agrees with you, saying that it is a leap forward dramatically. What did you think, Paul?
Yeah, no, I agree with Ashish online. I mean, this is way ahead of competitors. Gamma, who's a startup doing PowerPoint slides, are already 100 million. In the corporate world speaks slides. They don't speak reports. And all the training that we're doing with executives and employees, everyone's always asking about how to create PowerPoint. So I think it's absolutely essential. I think the other thing is, reason for essential is that the people who are more skeptical of AI like to find things they can point to. See, it stinks at PowerPoint. It's not very good. See, it stinks at this. And this is yet another one of the skepticism pillars falling down, particularly because it keeps all the text in, and makes it beautiful. And it's just breathtaking. And remember, we're just in the early days of Pro. People are going to find a lot more ways to get those prompts for a Nano Banana to be very specific for their company's brand and everything else. So it's absolutely essential.
Yeah, I was also essential. I was talking to my grandchildren, and when for children, this is like they don't know it's AI or what is it, right? It just creates these beautiful images, or it does things with your image, and they love it. They absolutely love it. So this, for educational purposes, this becomes really a platform almost that
Well,
kids
no,
would love.
Nina, keep going forward. We keep talking about Socrates in your pocket, but Socrates in your pocket at the way you want to learn. You can ask this to have a funny comic book story about learning about gravity, and boom, it'll create it there.
Exactly,
I
exactly.
am sold. I am sold. You're absolutely right. No, especially powering notebook LM. Set the engine there. I'm sold.
Yeah, and you can
Yeah.
create almost anything you
Yeah.
imagine. You can create. So essential it is. Thank you for all contributors. Yeah, essential it is. There's a lot of excitement also out there for this one. Okay, let's proceed to the next one, Ankash.
Okay, the next one comes from OpenAI and it is titled Building More with GPT 5.1 Codex Max.
Yes. So this was mine, right? So what this is the next version of the coding platform, and it's what they've done here is put in the method called compaction, and that allows to actually do coding across multiple context windows with a longer period, more than 24 hours coding. They improved the cost and speed 30 to 50%, and they provided some transparency and integrated it with Windows CLI, the window that you could actually access codes and the like directly rather than graphical interface, and very in a couple of other environments. So this is a really a production ready coding environment, and I think very well integrated. So I think it's at least important, if not essential. Ankash, what did you think?
I was important on this one, dude. I think it's a progression in terms of the agentic capabilities and coding capabilities of these models, right? So we have seen the number of hours these agents can now spend coding, right? So as the capacity is progressing, they are spending more and more hours doing more difficult stuff. So I think there was a tweet from Andrej Karpat. He was talking that how he was able to do something very complex with this set of model. So speaks to the usefulness of models. We, for our use cases, might not be able to see the improvements that these models are bringing, but people who are at the cutting edge of this, they do see those kind of improvements. So important for an AI leader to understand.
Yeah, and the article says that 95% of the OpenAI folks who are coding using this. So that has been tested, at least internally. Nina, what did you think?
I do agree. It is important. I was just amazed that just a shift alone from being an AI coding assistant to an autonomous coding partner, that is huge. But I do think that it's a cautious important for me.
I see. Yeah, they actually warn in the article the way they talk about security, that keep it in the sandbox, keep it in the safe environment, do not open to browser. So they're really they understand or signal that they're not there yet, actually. So yeah, be cautious with this one. You're right to be cautious. Paul, last word.
Yeah, important.
Okay, important it is. Let's proceed.
Okay, the next one comes from OpenAI again, and it talks about the new group chat feature in ChatGPT, which they are pitching in as new way to collaborate in ChatGPT.
What did you think, Ankash?
But I was between optional and important for this one. I'm not sure how good this feature will be when you are brainstorming or when you are working with ChatGPT. This might be an early sort of window into how ChatGPT is collaborating with Walmart, eBay, and others, and may take us into that collaborative shopping thing that we see on Amazon as well and some other apps. But right now, just from a work perspective, I'm not sure how important this is. So that's why I was between optional and important.
I see. Nina, what did you think?
I agree with Ankaj. The author also has quite the trail. She came from Instacart, and also I think she had a big finger in the Meta marketplace. But one thing that really came to mind is, I mean, it's hard enough to sort of like collaborate with 2-3 people. I think this is really prone to hallucinations going up. So I do agree. I don't know how stable this will be, but I'm of course willing to test and try.
I see.
Yeah.
Paul, what did you think?
Important. Yeah.
I was actually I think I was actually leaning important essential.
Well,
See, this is
the only reason I go essential is because we're doing a lot of training on ChatGPT, and we
Mm.
continue to get the edge of some of these new features that just don't always work. So the scheduling just doesn't always work,
that
and
idea.
it just feels like this was pushed out. We had the Microsoft big show this week. We had all the Gamma 3 or Gemini 3. I can
Yes.
see someone screaming, "Get something out!"
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that one. So this might be half cooked, but as a thing for enterprises who are training the folks on ChatGPT, this is a capability that would get a lot of people really, I think, excited, because this sharing feature is used all the time. I've talked to the bot about this, and the other thing. Look, there's some really interesting thoughts in here. Read this chat, right? So this is being shared all the time. So collaborative feature in this type of an environment is very important from my perspective for the learning, for the training, for the sharing going forward. That's why I was leaning. As a feature, I feel this is essential step in the right direction. I totally agree with you that I think it's half cooked probably. So important is a product announcement. We'll see how it does. Like Nina saying, maybe it will hallucinate more. So who knows? Okay. So I'm okay with important. Important it is.
Okay, moving on to the next one. This one again comes from Allen Institute, and it talks about Olmo 3, charting a path through the model flow to lead open source AI.
Okay. This was mine, and I put it as essential. So what it is a open source model, but it's open and it's small. So it's 7B and 32B parameters that was trained to be completely open, meaning they've released checkpoints, data sets, training steps by steps, code repository, and it is traceable. So you can actually trace pretty much anything inside it. And it comes in 4 flavors: base, instruct, think, and of 3 flavors: base, instruct, and think. And all of them are traceable. In terms of its performance, it's pretty much at par with huge models from Llama and all the suspects in 32B area, right? So, but its transparency and its ability to be traceable now, it's no longer the black box. So I feel this is a breakthrough, and I think leaders absolutely need to know about it. Now, granted, not that many people are training their own models, but if they do, especially the interplay of edge and in the cloud, I think this is now a new level that is being introduced. So I was essential on this. What did you think, Paul?
I was on the other side, optional. These are everyday miracles. These are incremental improvements. They don't have a lot of share yet, so I had it optional.
Okay. No, I get it, because it's something that not every leader would.
Yeah.
would
I think the
be
second time we've had these guys on last week or so. So, I mean, they're doing some good stuff over
pushing.
there.
They're pushing. Okay, so Nina, what did you think? We
I
have
actually really,
text, right?
yes, I was actually between important and actually essential. I saw at the very end of the article, there's an interview with the two PIs on this study. They were funded by NVIDIA and the NSF as well. But there was something that was really interesting to see how they're really trying to contribute towards that traceability, Luda, that you're talking about, to the output, to the training data, they can trace hallucination, right? The overlapping data. And I think that that's important, because it just puts, especially in highly regulated industries or sectors, I think that can be quite the game changer. But you're right, Paul, there's not a whole lot to see in there. They haven't revealed much, and it sounds like they are in beginnings of this study. They just got funded. But
Yeah, I mean, this is a
solid
tell me,
framework.
not show me. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm a lot
Yeah.
more on the show me side.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ankash, you have a wonderful vote to put us in the right place here.
Right, Luda. Luda, I'm with you on this one. It's essential news, I would say, because of two reasons. One, which Nina mentioned, that because of the traceability one. And second reason is, there are lots of conversations going around how the new startups in the Gen AI space, they are going to Chinese models because they are not finding US alternatives, which are good models and can be used in an open way, right? We have seen a lot of open source models from Microsoft, Google, the smaller ones. They are not commercial models, right? You can't use them commercially. So from that perspective, stopping our startups from going to these Chinese models and providing them an alternative within US, which is good, which has good performance, and whose roots you can trace back to the training data itself. I think that is very important. So for that reason, Luda, I was essential.
Yeah, and Kevin Petri, who is with Bark, and they do a lot of surveys, he jumps in by saying their latest survey shows high adoption of small language models. So if that is really the case, Kevin, this is essential. Okay, essential it is. I'm using my chalk today, and John is not here to argue very much.
And before we leave it, just kudos to this AI2 organization. I mean, Paul Allen really established a really important organization here before he died, and real contributions to the industry here with this truly open source.
Yeah, and it's performant, right? So this is not just, you can trace it, and that's a feature. They've pushed it to the point where it's really braving the other model. So it's important. Okay, essential it is. Let's proceed, Ankash, please.
Okay, the next one that we have for today comes from Intology, and it talks about Locus and their AI scientist.
Yeah, that is too bad Tim is not here, and John. What did you think about this, Ankash?
Yep. Luda, this is again an advancement in the AI scientist space. So we had discussed last week, I think, around Cosmos AI, which was another AI scientist which could go on for hours doing stuff, hypothesis testing, doing new research. So this is in the same bucket. It can also run for around 64 hours. It is performing well on all the benchmarks, exceeding human level performance. And inside of it, they are using 2-3 things. They have an orchestration layer, they have tool calling, they have search, and they have a planning capability as well. So really excited to see progress in this sort of particular space. I think soon we will see more potent discoveries from AI scientists. So I think important for an AI leader to know that this space is growing really well.
Okay. Nina, what were your thoughts?
Important.
Right? Paul?
Important.
Important. I was optional. Okay. Even though it's stunning, but I thought it's a step Yeah, we've actually heard. But I will go with you guys. Important it is. Let's proceed.
Okay, the next one that we have for today comes from AWS, and it is a case study, and it is titled How Care Access Achieved 86% data processing cost reductions and 66% faster data processing with Amazon Bedrock prompt caching.
Yeah, caching is like has a beard in terms of the software development folks. So this we've done caching like I don't know when software became was invented. So, but this is a new spin in AI era. What did you think about this, Nina?
I did rate it as important, mostly because it really shows some real proven enterprise kind of scale cost reduction. I thought it was really impressive. The cost reduction and the speed, which is sort of like two variables, right, that a lot of AI leaders are trying to juggle and go back and forth. I also thought it was a proof of concept at this point. There's not a whole lot, to glean from this other than being very promising and inspiring. But I could see how easily, for example, it's DevOps, fintech industry, and I don't know, insurance, government. There's a lot of application for the prompt caching through Bedrock, but it is being done already with other AI systems.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that people know about caching, software developers know about caching, doesn't mean that this is not an impactful feature, right? So here, their results are quite significant, right, in terms of the cost savings and efficiencies. So, and they describe how they did it. So this is a simple technique, but can be used across the board, really. So what did you think about this, Ankaj?
I was important on this one, Luda. I think it's a great case study. It's a new concept that we are discussing, right? We haven't discussed prompt caching before, and it provides outcomes as well, quantitative outcomes. So I think a great case study for an AI leader. So important on this one.
I was going essential actually, guys, because and Ashish here talking about if you're building a production AI solutions, the latency, and the cost are two important parameters that you need to optimize for. And so caching provides one of those simple but doable mechanisms, very doable, of how you can affect both. So for that reason, I was leaning towards essential. Paul.
Yeah, I was important here, but Luda, I mean, forwardability, I think, is one important metric we've used in our time. And I do certainly want AI leaders to forward this to their AI tech teams, particularly ones that are moving towards production, because we're seeing just an explosion of total cost of ownership and token usage in production. And this is one of the many tools around that. So essential for me, Luda. I'll support your talk.
Chalk, essential. All right. As Ankash prepares the scorecard, let's talk about announcements, Paul.
Yeah, a couple announcements. We have our learning lab on Monday, which is 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. You can sign up and meet up. We have Nash who's going to go through and do a case study on how he built a dev team with 12 AI agents. He's got one for architect, one for coder, one for product manager, one for tester, one for documentation. So just a fabulous example on that. Second is we continue our free 101 training classes. Tuesday at noon Eastern, we have Copilot, and Thursday we won't next week because it's a U.S. Thanksgiving holiday. So next week it's just a Tuesday, but the following week after that we have ChatGPT on Thursday. And lastly, I just share we're doing a lot of research on answer engine optimization. We have a peer group today with 15 marketing leaders, and it is really a important but nascent area where there's lots of confusion on it. So if you're working in the area, please reach out because there's lots and lots of everyone has questions. We don't yet know the answer.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Paul. And today,
actually, Luda, I've got one other one. We have here in Boston. We're very excited about AI and technology, but our local Teamsters union is protesting and blocking rolling out Waymo in Boston. And we've started a petition for that. So if you're willing to sign that and show support, It helps keep overall traffic accidents down. It helps women be safer late at night because they can travel without anyone in their car. And it's a fabulous way to show pride in tech. And we want our community to welcome technology, not be Luddites.
And safer for riders.
It's safe, exactly, yeah. And it's indisputable now after all the data from San Francisco.
Yeah, there's safer for riders. Okay, so today we have 3 essentials and 3 important. This is interesting because this is, I think, the second day that we see the essentials and importance coming on Friday. This is a 50-50 division. So this is really cool. The wave continues. So thank you all very much. Thanks, Nina, for joining.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Ashish, everyone, for participating. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you on Monday.
Good weekend, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.